Hey guys, today in this video, we're going to be switching it up to some Battlefield 5. I've been playing a lot over the last couple of weeks and I have been having a lot of fun with this game. It also just went free on PlayStation, so it's a great time to be playing the game. So I'm going to be going over all my weapons, gadgets, and settings today, just so you guys can know what I'm using. Now, by no means here am I an expert on the game. I have only about 40 hours into it, unlike Battlefront 2 where I have well over 1,000. So let's get into it. First here, we are going to be going over the Assault. I've gotten them maxed out to level 20 here, and I have the combat rule of Light Infantry. I definitely like it more than Vehicle Buster, as I'm usually not too focused on destroying vehicles, so I just go for the Light Infantry. As my primary gun, I have the STG-44. This is definitely a really good weapon. It's really good for up close and can do okay at far away, but it's really good in that medium range spot, and that's where you want to do it, as the Assault is just a good all-around place. I do also use the M1 Grand. It's definitely good for range, and also the Libby Roy's 1918, as that's also good for all ranges. It can has some better range than the STG-44, but then also do really well up close. For my sidearm, I use the Model 27. This revolver is really good as it can one-shot people to the head and two-shot to the body, and it has a really good range, so I really like running around with this thing as I can go around and just shooting everybody, and I'm a big fan of it. For my grenade, I use the frag grenade. Now, all of these are mainly good. The incendiary grenade and anti-tank bundle grenade, all of them are good, but I stick with the frag grenade as it's just the best original one that is best to me. Well, it's not as good as Battlefield 1 was, it has a longer fuse time, and it doesn't do as much damage, but, and same with Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2's grenades are better, but it's still good. For my anti-vehicle launcher, I'm using the M1A1 bazooka. The bazooka is really powerful, and it just has a much smaller drop-off than the others, so it's definitely my favorite of the launchers for the Assault. Then for my gadget, I have the sticky dynamite. This is really good as, you can just throw it around, detonate it, and it's so easy to get kills with it. Does tons of damage to tanks, so it's really good for that. Next is medic, who I've also had maxed out now. I have the field medic role. It's just overall, once again, better than the combat medic, and is definitely my favorite. Then for my gun, I have the M3 grease gun. This gun is really good for me. It has a slower rate of fire. It just does really good damage, really good aiming, really good control, and all that stuff. And to me, it's really good, so I'm a big fan of it. The other SMG I really like is the Type 100. For my specializations, I also have the suppressor on it, which reduces the noise of it and makes it so that enemies can't really tell where the gun is coming from, so I find that really useful, and I'm a big fan of it. For my sidearm, I once again have Model 27, as I have that revolver on all my classes. For my grenade, I am using the incendiary grenade. This is just a flame grenade that I find really good, as, it's good for just clearing people out of areas and objectives, and, it can also do a lot of damage, so I find it really useful. But in this situation, the smoke grenade and frag grenade are also really good. For my healing supply, I'm using the bandages. They're definitely better than the medical crate, because the bandages you can pass out to everyone and heal yourself anyways. Medical crate, not so much, and it's just not as good. And then for my gadget, I'm using the smoke grenade rifle, as it's really good for cover and pushing objectives or defending objectives, and it can also be really good for going in to heal people, and it's so useful to heal people. Next is my least played class with the support. I have not played them much, but they're still pretty good. So the current gun I am mainly using right now is the Type 11. It's a unique gun that definitely does a lot of good damage and has some quite decent range. For my sidearm, once again the Model 27, and then for my grenade, I'm using the impact grenade. This is a really good way just to do quick damage, and is better overall than just the incendiary grenades or the other grenades for certain situations, so I stick with the impact grenade. Then for my ammo supply, I'm using the ammo patch, which once again is just better than the crate, because it's more useful. Then for my right gadget, I'm using the AT grenade pistol. This pistol can do the grenades can do a lot of damage against vehicles and are also good against infantry, so I use those. The last class is the Recon, which is definitely one of my favorites to play, even though I'm not always the best at sniping in this game. My primary is the Type 99 Arasaki. I really love this sniper as it just has good range, a fast reload time, and does a ton of damage, so I really like it. Once again, Model 27 as my sidearm. I love running around this and I love using the Model 27 as almost a primary in up-close situations with the Recon, because I rely on my sidearm way more with the Recon than I do other classes, because that allows them to do good up-close. So Model 27 is definitely what I'm using, and they're really good. For my grenade or explosive, I'm using the kunai, which is just a knife you throw, and I find them really good to they do a lot of damage, and they're a really good way to take out people instantly. For my left gadget, I'm using the flare gun. The flare gun is really good for revealing enemies, and it's really strategically good as in objectives. That's good, and as a sniper, you need to be aware of your surroundings at all times, because you can't just quickly turn. Unless you hit headshots, you're gonna lose if you don't see the other person first. So you need to be seeing other people first and attacking them. For my right gadget, I'm using the spawn beacon. The spawn beacon is really good for teammates once again, as it's really good for objectives, and it helps you not have to run really far distances to get into that good spot. But that is all for my classes. So now I'm going to be going over in some of my settings. For my settings, I'm using 50% soldier sensitivity and 100% zoom sensitivity. I find this a good middle ground, not too high, not too low. And then for my video, I'm using 85 field of view. And for my controls, I have them switched around a bit. I'm using, this is on PlayStation of course, I'm using R3 for crouch and slide. I'm using X to switch sidearms, and I'm using O to jump. But those are all my settings in Battlefield 5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe it helped you out if you're just starting the game, so that way you know some of the best gadgets and best weapons, and you know some of your controls and settings. So hopefully this helped you guys out. If it did, then of course leave a like and subscribe, because that helps out the video and it's a good way to support me. And leave a comment if you want more Battlefield 5 videos like this. Battlefront 2 is dying out more and more, so I want to try playing other games, and Battlefield 5 is a good option for that since I'm loving it and it has a lot of new players. See you guys next time. Bye.